So welcome everyone to the little satsang today. This is the satsang part of the darshan. My thought has been this morning, and of course it's a thought that completely occupies my mind on a daily basis because of the condition of the world. You know, I look at world news, right? And I don't just choose one country. All the countries that I can get on my cable, I look at the news because I want balanced reporting. So I look at China, I look at Al Jazeera, I look at BBC, I look at all the channels that I can get on my the CNN, MSNBC. But I want to get a good picture of across the world. Because it's it's Dwapara Yuga. And I see so many people want their way to prevail across the world. It's not going to happen. Not just yet. You don't do it like this. Not with war and propaganda and force. Because darkness holds the world. Ignorance holds the world. Darkness is ignorance. The reason why people don't change is because of ignorance. And we may say, yeah, okay, so if people are ignorant, let's educate them. Mass education. What happens? Poor people, they can only take so much because of their level of consciousness. So you want to educate everybody. Everybody must have university degrees. Everybody must be of this order. No, it doesn't happen. You have a world of different levels of consciousness. And it's a dark yuga. It's a dark cosmic period. And in this time, you have more low consciousness across the world. Are you going to educate? No, education is not enough. And in education, it's do as I say, but not as I do. And then in this world, you can't trust. Who is going to be sincere, honest, and caring? Just a few. So you can't trust those wolves who come in sheep clothing. You definitely can't trust them. I've seen unfairness across the world, even from a little boy. I remember going to buy some crocodile clips in a store. And I went into the store, and the crocodile clips were so expensive. It's an electrical item. It is so expensive. And when I went across to another store, I saw the same thing cheaper. So I came back and told the guy, this is in that store, this is the price. He said, well, this is what we sell it at. You know what I did? I told him, keep it. I'm not going to support this unfairness. That's how I have always been. I believe in charity. I believe in goodness. I believe in honesty. I believe in values. And that's what the Blue Star is all about. So it's the nature of the yuga. I mean, that day I was angry. Now I would do it altogether different. I wouldn't go in the store at all. I would check the prices everywhere. You can't educate this world wanting everybody to have university education. You educate them in consciousness. Learning to manage thoughts, learning to manage emotions, learning to understand themselves and their limits, and to be comfortable with who they are. Self-esteem at every level. A farmer should have the same recognition as a medical doctor. So when you find medical doctors who are so humble, even to the farmer, and you find a farmer who is so humble to the medical doctor, even when they're full of pride, then you see how important values are. The greatest of our people are the most humble. And that's what I found out with spirituality across the world. When I was in awe of these giants of spirituality, in meeting them, I'd found nothing but love. I was just gifted to meet two great ones. But they were so full of love. But Baba Muktananda, I felt that it's a fatherly figure that I've come to. Such a Sai Baba Shri was like a motherly figure. He held me and grabbed me when I was so in tears. Don't worry, he said. All will be fine, all will be fine. I didn't understand the gift of His grace at that point, but today I do. I saw the impact of it. But the greatest souls are the humblest. You lose fear in their presence. You lose anxiety in their presence. And you want to melt in their presence. That's what I felt with these two great souls. I wanted to melt in their purity, in their love. And the only other person that I felt this beautiful energy from was my mother. She was not a normal being. So in the world there are beings, there are evolved souls. So the goal is, don't try to change the world, change yourself. And the whole idea of education is, be the example of what you're teaching. Be the example. You teach more powerfully by your example, rather by dictating. The dictatorial way of teaching, didactic teaching, is not the way that we want to go. Opening up of the heart, opening up of the mind, inspiring, taking away stress and anxiety and the competition. Take it away. So the goal is not to change the world, it is to change self. It is to change self, because that's when you can effect real change. And leave the activists to be the masters, like Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Jesus. They came with martyr consciousness. It didn't matter what happened to their bodies. They were fearless. Let's not try to be like them, unless we have the consciousness. And there are going to be some cases when we can be like them, because we feel this overwhelming urge to fight. But it's not us who are fighting. It's a divine in and through us. And when you feel that power, then you can go, because it's not you. That's how Martin Luther King felt. He felt it didn't matter if whatever happened to me. There's a fire in his soul that needed to light up the space. And he did it magnificently. The same thing with Jesus. There's a fire in his soul. He had to do what he had to do in the temple. Corruption was just at its height. Same with Mahatma Gandhi, trying to bring peace to a warring culture. But it tells you the darkness of the world. It took so long for Mandela to be freed. It is still taking time for the words of Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, to still echo in our minds. It's still a process that is ongoing. Freedom from racism. So what is more important? It's learning how to go within, find yourself, manage your mind, open the mind to higher levels of thinking, be the example. That is what is more important. So don't be impatient about anything. The world is already moving with perfection. Who do you think is controlling this world? Human beings? No. The leaders of the world, they're not controlling the world. It's the divine, it's the forces of karma. So if they were aligning themselves to the world, every leader who aligns himself or herself to life, to the flow of the divine, will be able to do the best good to the world. So that's why I look at world news. It shows me the play of consciousness across the world. No judgment. I just look at where we are in the moment. And the same with climate change at the moment. There's no definitive move towards everybody embracing it. We have created the changes in the world that is making this climate change more disastrous than it should be. Climate, of course, will change because of geography, because of the way the world moves. The rise and fall is part of the karmic play. Warming of the earth will happen over a long period of time. It's a natural play. Change of things. It should be very gradual as nature means it to be, and not to be accelerated as we are doing. So what will happen is that nature will react, because she's the boss. She's the Prakriti. So she will react. And that's what you will see. She will destroy. When we tend to want to destroy, she will do the destructiveness that's governed by sattva. When she moves, she's moving in sattva, creating an earthquake, a tsunami, a pandemic. She is moving with sattva, helping to wake up the world to more consciousness. That's what will happen. The good news is that we are moving from Dwapar to Treta very slowly. So the light will grow. More light will come. More conscious souls will come into the world. More masters will come into the world, but gradually. Gradually. So let's flow with the light as it grows. Don't be impatient. Change yourself first, and try to change the world. I have no anxiety about what will happen, because she's in charge. I'm just in awe at her awesome play. I'm in awe every day. And she's the ultimate teacher, because at this stage of my life, the human life, she's teaching me how to live in a body all over again. I thought I knew the Hatha Yoga, I thought I knew the pranayama, I thought I knew all the healing techniques of when I was younger. But now she's teaching me new levels of it. She said, this is how you live Vasudeva, this is how you live in this yoga, this is how you live in this body. She's teaching me how to live in a 67-year-old body. And I'm absolutely in awe every day that I wake up with a new tip from her as to how to navigate, how to eat, how to sleep, how to manage the prana, how to revitalize the body. And she makes me conscious when I tend to go away with the human consciousness, in the human consciousness. She just reminds me, no, Vasudeva, no. That's co-creativity at its best. Me and her. This awesome energy has been guiding me since 1975 for my deep awakening in India. And it has been just a joy to be blessed with her. With her guidance, with her support. She's the best mother you can think about. And I see her presence in all good mothers. I see her. And in all good fathers too. And in all good people too. I see her touching the world. And in the forces of darkness, I see her in her cleansing mode. allowing people the free will to go into the darkness, but teaching them through it. Everybody who embraces the darkness is in for a greater ride of transformation. Embrace the light, everyone. And that's my satsang for you today in Sunday's darshan. Needless to say that I love you from the deepest part of my being, and care about you as I care about myself. You're myself. You're myself. You're myself. There is no other. Namaskar, everyone.